Hey, everybody. I'm Mychael Gabriel. You're listening to the Brutally Delicious Podcast. All right.
Hello, Rena.
Hey there, Rena.
Hey, Michael. How you doing?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm all right. Getting a little tired since
I hear
I'm
you're
here.
in Finland.
True that. That's where
Right
I
on.
am, and it's 8:30 p.m. and marking I got up at 6 and had to work like an actual job before doing fun stuff
Nice.
in the evening. Yeah.
Wow. Well, the fun just doesn't stop for you, does it?
It does not. But living the life, taking it all. What can I say?
No rest for the
So
weary.
what have you been up to today?
What haven't I been up to is more it's more the question.
That busy already today?
What was that?
You're that busy already today?
Oh man, that's the story of my life. Yeah.
So we can
You know what's really funny? Your name is Mychael Gabriel, right? And we have also established that I am Finnish. And here in Finland, there is an artist named Mychael Gabriel.
Really?
Really? He's just
Oh.
like, and it's his name, first name is just spelled Mykael.
Sure.
While yours is different, which makes me think like you're aware of this Finnish artist and made this weird fucking version of Michael to stand out from the Finnish rapper Mychael Gabriel.
No, this is the first I'm hearing of it. I'll have to check him out.
Lies.
Anyway, so let's talk about how do you want to Mychael Gilbert?
Say again?
Let's talk about Michael. I was just trying to be funny, but let's talk about Mychael Gabriel.
It rarely goes well. I'm sorry.
It doesn't go well. I don't have a sense of humor. Sorry. Let's talk about the new album Genesis.
Yeah.
It's out now. What's been the response to it so far?
It's been a positive response. You know, this album was I said from the beginning, it's going to be the first step in a larger journey because I have a huge catalog of songs I've been holding on to for a long time. I've been in the industry for some time, kind of doing this, producing, mixing, performing with other artists in the industry. Mm-hmm. And I said over COVID, I said, you know what, why don't I do this for myself? That's the whole reason I got into the whole music gig in the first place, was because of my passion for writing and producing and whatnot. I'm an engineer by trade. And so, I said, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. And so the response has been positive, and I'm really excited to finally have it out.
Nice. Your connection to the music business, you have sort of a large history, including through your family, but you're in Minnesota and you're connected to Paisley Park as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, a little bit. So can't really talk about it without going into my backstory. So my parents actually met on the Purple Rain tour. My father, Gilbert Davison, was Prince's personal security and ended up becoming his manager and president of Paisley Park. My mom, Constance, was Sheila E's co-lyricist and road manager, and they actually grew up in the Bay Area together. So Sheila's my godmother. And, so I like to say kind of jokingly, I'm sort of a product of this Purple Rain World Tour. Like, had it not been for that tour, I probably wouldn't be here today.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
I bet there's a lot of other children who could say the same.
Right. Sure. Yeah. And the music and everything. Yeah.
It was a band, it was a tour,
Yeah, for sure.
So,
but it's super impressive. Like it's a fascinating backstory, obviously, and growing up in that sort of surrounding. Do you feel like it was sort of written in the stars before you did anything that you're going to end up in music? Like, with your backstory, did you really have a choice?
I mean, you could look at it that way, but for me, I didn't appreciate the uniqueness of the situation until I was a little bit older, because it's the only experience that I had ever known as a child. So everything that's happening, whether it be, Prince coming over to the house, or us going over to Paisley Park, or going to a show, or, whatever it is that was happening at the time, I was experiencing it through the eyes of a child. I didn't know that it was unique. And so, now I'm filled with, nothing but gratitude. But at the time, like it was just normal to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Prince coming over for dinner. That's crazy in a sentence.
Yeah, it is. It is. I just overlooked it because, it's weird. But like outside of music, did you have any, like, did you dream of being a firefighter as a kid or something like that?
I think music was always like kind of my first love, especially the guitar, rock and roll guitar in particular. It was just something that was always just a passion of mine. Like, it's like you never forget your first love. And music was that for me.
Yeah, makes sense. So basically no choice.
And I think once, it's just like anybody, right? Once music gets a hold of you, it doesn't let go.
Yeah, it's once you get the bug, it's like, it's like a I don't know, a weird virus that just spreads,
Yep.
It's like you can't escape it, no matter how much you try. Like I am a very kind of practical person, right? And I asked my parents one day, I'm like, don't you guys think I should be like a doctor or a lawyer or something like maybe more stable, secure? And they're like, no, you love music. That's what you should be doing.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's great to have that support.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
I also,
the virus is interesting in a way that it usually doesn't kill you, but depending on who you are, it can take all your money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it does play. It's they say the music business is a business that eats its young. So
right.
And in that sense, if it doesn't kill you, it can make you stronger. And so, I always tell people, no matter what it is that you're doing, you can never underestimate the power of just not giving up. Right. And continuing to persevere. Sometimes, and also it's to appreciate the journey that you're on. So often we're laser focused on reaching the top of the mountain that we forget to appreciate the journey that we're on. We forget to appreciate the climb. And, I think that's important as well.
And the people that you meet along the way.
And the people that you
affect with your music. Right.
Yeah. All of that. It's not one big thing that gets you to, your destination. It's all the million little steps that it took to get there. And
I also think it's interesting, like how you define success. I mean, if you're actually playing music and people are listening to it, then that's some sort of success, right? You don't have to be Motley Crue or Prince. Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's, you got to check yourself sometimes. It's like, why are you doing this? And if your passion and love for the music itself isn't at the core, then, maybe you need to reevaluate a little bit. But I feel very blessed.
Yeah. Mentioning the people you meet along the way, you've met some pretty interesting people along the way. The list of people that you've worked with or collaborated with is insane in one word. Like it has such names as, let me just read from here, like Stevie Wonder, Hans Zimmer, John Legend, Snoop Dogg, Gary Clark Jr. Just it goes on and on. Gloria Estefan. It's nuts. So like, what do you sort of derive from that? What's the best takeaway that you get out of like being able to work with all these amazing artists?
The most talented among them are generally the most humble people you'll ever meet. It's like, and that's something that really kind of blew me away. It's like, especially like, for example, the first time I shook Stevie Wonder's hand was just a random chance encounter at a restaurant, right? And I happened to be with Sheila at the time. And I was just a kid, like maybe 16, 17 years old. And I shook his hand, and then I just thought after, I was like, all the history, like all the musical history in that hand. I was like, I'm never washing this hand again. But he was he was such a nice person. And then, to have a chance to work with him later, it was just like a dream, this music that I grew up with, and the same is true for a lot of those, legendary, iconic artists. try to just be like a sponge, I guess, when you're in that environment, and take what you can, whatever is positive from that experience. And sometimes, maybe some of those experiences aren't, wholly positive, because let's face it, we're all here to get a job done. And, sometimes, there's stress involved, but right. You still try to take whatever positive you can from that experience, because you're going to take that and carry it to the next thing. And we live in an industry where it's word of mouth, so it's like if you exude positivity, you're going to get positivity in return. And so, like, I guess that's some of, sorry about that. That's some of what I've garnered from my experiences, for sure.
And I don't think you can ever have enough positivity, especially in the world we're living in. So that's a wonderful thing as well.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And like, the thinking of like, that you're going to be taking a part of this energy, taking it forward, and it'll either support or taint
right right yeah
destination of where you land.
Right. And that positivity will manifest itself in other ways if you put it out there. So you never underestimate that either.
I love that.
True.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
True. No, it's the law of vibration. It's true.
Right. Yeah. Hey, you're onto something there.
No, I am. Oh.
Are you planning on taking this? Sorry.
Go ahead, Bruce.
I was going to say, are you planning on taking this out on the road and doing shows?
Yeah. So that's the part I'm most excited about. The plan is to take it out on the road in 2023. So we're kind of preparing. We're in preparation for that now. But yeah, it's like, how could, to put these songs, not play them live, it would just be like a travesty, so yeah, that's the part I've been most excited about, kind of chomping at the bit to just, get these out in a live performance setting.
Have you done any one-offs yet, or is it truly going to be coming up?
It's going to be coming up. Yeah. So everything we're doing now is just laying the groundwork for that. So like for the album, we put out the album. There's also a deluxe version of the album that's going to include, different remixes and extended versions of the songs, and some songs that ended up on the cutting room floor. We're just going to throw back out there. We're in the process. We have a couple music videos in production and whatnot that people can be on the lookout for. But yeah, the physical touring is going to take place in 2023.
Nice. How do you prepare for that? Is that something you start worrying about now and prepping for, or do you just kind of?
Well, so I already have some of the musicians in place. But yeah, I mean, I guess I've been mentally preparing for it like the entire time I've been crafting this record, because I played everything on the record. So everything that you hear is purely myself. So like, I guess in that sense, I've been preparing, but like the writing and creative process, like being in the studio is a little bit different than, shedding for a tour, so they're both fun in different in their own ways. But yeah, so I'm just excited. That's all.
You said you played all the instruments. Are you also doing all? I know you're an engineer and a producer. Did you do all of that as well?
Yeah.
Really? So it's a one-man show?
Yeah, but so much of it is out of like necessity and impatience, like if I have a musical idea, like I don't have time to like kind of wait, schedule studio time, whatever. I'm like, what, this is how I hear it. And, it ended up just being, that's what it is on the record. It's like that kind of idea, that moment was just captured, at the moment I had the ideas, it was captured, and it's how the record turned out.
Okay. Is there something you want your fans to take away from, or the listener to take away from after listening to either the single Let There Be Light or even the record Genesis? Is there a takeaway?
I think so. I love polysemantic, like storytelling, stories with like two or more meanings. I want the listener to I wanted them to listen to it with open ears and kind of take whatever it is that they feel from it, because the whole record was written with sentiment and feeling kind of at the core. So it's a multi-genre album, not because like not only because I like multiple genres of music, but because I treat genre sort of like a tool, like another one of the instruments, you know, and some genres lean more to one feeling than another, you know. So like Let There Be Light, for example, you know, the guitar riff is what came first, and it just kind of leaned in that sort of 1970s sort of inspired, you know, rock sort of tune.
Right.
And, you know, that's the feeling that I had when, you know, I wrote it. So that's, you know, that's just kind of, that's how that one came about. It's part biblical allegory as well, you know, so, you know, there's a little bit to chew on in terms of that. The album is called Genesis, from the first book of the Bible. Genesis means origin, and it speaks not just to the biblical allegory, but it speaks to my origin as well. You know, sounds that inspired me, you know, growing up, and, you know, music that I like, and just kind of tells that story. So yeah, there's, it's kind of a loaded question. There's a lot, but I guess the biggest takeaway is awaken the light in yourself.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Rena?
Well, I would want to know if you're up to doing something super weird with us.
Yes, I love weird stuff.
Dude, I love that reaction. Perfect.
Remember, you said that.
We've been doing it all this entire time.
Yeah. Remember, you agreed to this.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. We have this in audio and not in writing, but it's a legally binding document.
It's legally binding. You agreed to whatever weird stuff.
Right.
Totally. And like, you know, you're either gonna remember this fondly or not at all. But so what we're going to do is Bruce is going to put up a picture.
Okay.
And since this is a podcast, even though this does publish on YouTube as well, we would like you to describe that picture to as much detail as you can to the people who are also listening. So we want you to tell us what is happening in that picture, and then what is going to happen next. So 2 questions. What is it like? What's going on now?
What is happening?
What's going to happen?
And what's going to happen?
What will happen in the next frame, so to speak.
All right.
Okay.
Remember, you agreed. So here we go. You ready?
Okay, let's see.
There you go.
All right. Wow. Okay. So we have a cave, and we have cave drawings. One that looks like an octopus, one that looks like a person with either an afro, or they have stars over their head. And we have another ghost-like alien being with 2 antennas. And in the center of the picture, we have a redhead sticking their tongue out in a in this dress, this brown dress, and a television on the ground. And another weird squiggly drawing. Maybe it's a map. And then overhead is a framed picture of someone with a beard or mustache and clouds over their head. And I think what's going to happen next is the person's going to turn around and lick the picture. The television's going to blow up, and the cave will come crashing down.
That's the best one yet today.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like, it's so fascinating, like what people go for, because usually people would go for the person first, but you started from the walls, the surrounding.
Yeah, the surrounding.
You wanted to sort of build up to.
To build it up, you know. You got to explain what the setting is first, you know.
So let me ask you a question, because nobody sees what I see in that picture above the head or whatever that is. You don't see a chef, like a dude with a chef's hat.
Maybe, I guess, you know what? It could be Colonel Sanders, and he ate some really spicy chicken. I see that, you know, maybe because his hair is kind of disheveled. And I don't know, there's something kind of like emanating from his mouth.
What do you think the show she's waiting for, or he's waiting for, is going to appear on that television?
Let's see. So they have their tongue out.
Also pointing out that you're the first one to like emphasize that point.
Okay.
Nobody's sort of like zeroed in on the tongue out thing, which is interesting to me, because I feel it's very prominent. Go ahead.
How about Dumb and Dumber, the scene where Jeff Daniels sticks his tongue onto the light pole?
That is beautiful.
That's it. And yeah.
Nice. That's beautiful.
Yep.
Have you ever done that, by the way? As a
No,
kid?
no.
No.
I grew up watching this The Christmas Story.
Yes.
Yes. And so I think I was partially traumatized from that.
Yes.
And it kind of steered me away from trying it out.
That's the classic scene from that, right?
Yeah, that's what everybody remembers. Don't stick your
What
tongue
is
to the
that
light pole.
Christmas Story?
Oh,
Is that
don't tell me you've not seen it.
You haven't seen
is
a
it
Christmas
that
Story?
old-timey movie
Yes.
with like
Yes, where the boy, it narrates the, just the Christmas season in his life. He wanted this BB gun for Christmas, and it's all about, that's part of, his focus throughout. Oh, there we go. I was screen sharing, so sorry about that. That's part of his focus throughout the movie. But then it just it just goes through everything that happens in that Christmas season leading up to Christmas.
It's really
Day.
good.
It's funny.
In fact, I think some
Really?
stations play it like 24/7 a day or two before Christmas.
Yeah, it's like a marathon, Christmas Story marathon. You have to check it out. But in that movie, there's a scene where one of his friends sticks his tongue to the light pole, and the fire department has to come and help him.
the fire department.
Yeah.
Come on. Like
Yeah.
this is all you need is like a cup of warm water.
I know.
Like,
I know. I
what
mean,
did the fire department
we
do?
know
Like,
that
close
now.
the poor bitch down. Like
Yeah, we know that now, but like 7-8-year-old me was like, oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
Yes. Rip the top
I'm
of your
now
tongue off.
intrigued.
Yeah, right.
Like, do they show what the fire department does to
You
get the boy out?
you don't know if they have to cut his tongue off. You don't know what happened. Like as a kid, you don't know what's happening. You just see the kid walking into class and he has like this bandage like on his tongue, like, and he's like just sits there sad.
It could
the
be
rest of
half
the school
gone for
day.
all we know.
Good. Yeah, exactly. You don't know what happens. Yeah, it's kind of left open ended. And I don't think
you're sick people, you Americans.
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't think you see the boy the rest of the movie. So like you don't know. Like maybe he wasn't able to speak the rest of his life. Who knows what
Or
happened.
could have gotten infected and he could have passed away.
Yeah, exactly. So
Gangrene in his tongue.
you can only imagine how traumatizing it is.
that sounds pretty traumatizing.
Yeah.
Also
By the
kinda
way, that's a
metal.
great name for a metal band, Gangrenous Tongue.
Oh man, you're
Yes.
onto something.
That name.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
Hells yeah.
Michael, I know we went off the deep end here. Is there anything we missed that you want to cover?
Oh man.
I wasn't talking about Christmas shows. Like what the hell? Like,
Go ahead.
Yeah. I think we need to cover more Christmas shows. Like, okay, so for example, what's your favorite Christmas movie or
So
show?
I'm probably lame. I'm gonna say
my favorite. Oh, sorry, Bruce. Go ahead.
No, please.
My favorite Christmas movie is Die Hard, which is a Christmas movie.
Yes,
but
it is. Yes.
Boom! It is.
Yeah.
But
I love that. Yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! But in
Yes.
Finland, the tradition is this cartoon. It's only like 10-15 minutes long or something, called The Snowman. And it's like there's no lines. It's just a cartoon with music, and there's like the snowman that comes to life, and then in the nighttime it takes the little boy that made it out to this magical adventure and flying over the forest and like ending up in this grand festival of animals and snow thingies and whatever. But the main thing about that is this song. And I don't know if you know about like Finnish music, but one of our biggest bands is called Nightwish. And it's a metal band, like the symphonic metal band. And they have made a version when they still had their old singer, Tarja Turunen. All the song that they play is that we're flying through the air. Da, 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 da. And it's like really everybody knows the song and everybody watches that thing mainly for that song, to hear the song. And that is the essence of Christmas.
Well, I want to see this. What is it called if I were to look it up?
Hold on, let me find it for you.
I'm going to interject. I'm kind of lame.
Smart things while I find it.
Yeah, while she's looking, I'm going to interject. Mine would be "It's a Wonderful Life," and I know that's kind of cliche.
That's a classic. Yeah,
but that is a classic.
It is. It is. Yeah, totally. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Now, I don't have as good a story with it as Rena does, but that is still mine.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic. How can you? I mean, it's probably in everyone's top 5, maybe top 3. Right. I would think. Yeah.
This will lead you. This is the song, specifically the song, but this, if you want to watch the whole thing, you're gonna find it. linking you in the chat room here now so you can get it. But it's a beautiful song. Maybe it'll inspire you.
Yeah.
And you will make your own version, and it'll this will be your backstory now. Weird Chick from Finland gave me a link to a cartoon.
I'm gonna check it out. Can you guys still see my video feed? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it looks like you timed out for a second.
Okay, give me 1 second to just make a quick adjustment here.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's all right. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. But we do have Die Hard, I think, every Christmas playing on TV as well. But it's like, it's such a different culture. Obviously, we're a very Americanized society here in Finland.
Right.
I'm just like filling the air now while it's pronounced Michael, right? It does his video thing.
Yes,
but
Michael.
Okay, coolio. Yes. So then, yeah, it's that it's very commercial as a holiday, but I don't think any country can trump the commercialization of Christmas that has been achieved in America.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
And it's sucky because I have a kid. He's 6 years old, and I don't want to teach him a culture of love is things,
right?
Love is the sheer number of presents that you get.
But that's kind of what it all is, right? For sure, here in the U.S. You there, Rena? I think everybody's gone.
Has stopped. This meeting is being.
Hey, are we all back?
We're all back. What the hell, Bruce?
I'm just sitting here. I'm going to blame Michael because he's the one who just disengaged first.
That's okay. It's just more fix it and post stuff.
Yeah, blame the guest anyway. That's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works.
This is how it works.
Hey.
But you're completely right, and I love this message of gratitude, and I love the message of humility and just positivity and all these things. And you could totally be an asshole with all the stuff that you have under your belt and just feel super entitled and conceited based on all of that, and you're not, and I appreciate that. So that's kudos to you.
Yeah, I mean, and thank you guys for having me. I mean, life is finite, right? Everything that we have is finite, so it's it's better to not be an asshole.
Yes.
And to try to share positivity when you can. I feel because you never know what somebody else is going through in any given moment, and so I think the more positivity we can share and spread throughout the world, the better. Even if it's in a small micro transactional way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that empathy, is all I have.
The thing.
Thank you, my friend. Hope that wasn't too bad.
No, I had a great time. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's great meeting you both.
Thanks for being here.
Nice meeting you.
It was lovely meeting you.
And thank you, Rena, for taking time to be here, even though you had a long day. Hopefully you get to rest up a little bit now.
I'm gonna do one more because it's a band that I've actually found not I found them and but it's a kind of obscure band that I found 2 or 3 years ago. So
nice.
Staying up later than I normally would to do this thing.
Hey,
but
that's dedication.
That's rock and roll.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is another good thing with positivity, empathy, and all of that.
Michael, good luck with the record. Good luck with the tour. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate you.
You well.
All right.
See you later, dude.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello out there. Yes, hello out there, everyone. I'm Hal Schwartz.
And I'm Flynn McLean. Together we host None But the Brave, a podcast dedicated to the music and career of Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce and E Street Band are on tour right now for the first time in 6 years, and we're taking a detailed look at what's happening on stage in our bi-weekly episodes.
We've also been recently joined by some very exciting guests, including rock journalist Warren Zanes and Stephen Hayden, Backstreet's Magazine founder Charles Cross, and Barstool's Kirk Minahan.
If you're a diehard Springsteen fan, this is the show for you.
So please subscribe to None But the Brave on your favorite podcasting platform, and we hope to see you further on up the road.
Thank you so much.
We'll be seeing you.